Hey, good morning, Facebook land. I am a couple of minutes early. I told you I'd be on here at about 8:30, but there you go. Today is our third day on a job site. Literally, I am coming to you live from the middle of a cornfield in Rochester,
Rochester.
Rochester, Minnesota. Very first time I've ever even been to Minnesota. I think I told you guys that before. But anyway, very cool. They have very good beer here in Minnesota. I've been quite impressed with that, so I just might be willing to come back again. Yeah, not that I drink all that much, but anyway, we are here with Service Restoration. As you can see, my really cool logo on my shirt. Service Restoration, Dan and Ray called us, had us come out, flew us in from Washington, and we're here with a contents job for them. I'm actually going to let Ray talk to you a little bit about that, but they have done contents before, like a pack out or so, but really delved into, after doing our classes last year, doing full on, want to go do the fire contents cleaning and all of that, setting up their system. They're going to have a really cool system going on. They've got their ultrasonic machine. They're going to have an Asporta system, so I'm really excited for them. But they got this large fire job, and I wanted to, a day or so before they actually wound up calling us and then having us come out on Sunday. But what I wanted to talk to you about was just kind of telling you where we're at right now. We've got most of the log destroyed done. The fire, again, I think I told you this the other day, but it started in the garage. And literally everything in that garage is completely destroyed. And it was full of a lot of chemicals. Obviously, a ton of plastics have been burned up in the garage, and we have had a lot of destroyed items that we've been dealing with that have been kind of unique and a little tough as a restorer, because some of the items that we were logging destroyed, it wasn't that we could not get them back to pre-loss condition, like in the house, because the house had like very little actual. Let me show you this in the master bedroom. This is the extent of damage inside the house. I don't know if you can see inside. You see where the soot came in, pushed in up underneath, because the garage is attached to the house. They call it a grouse. Like he called it a grouse, the homeowner did here. I don't know if that's an official term, but the garage is attached to the house. So this is the ceiling in the master bedroom, where the edge of the garage, they obviously all share a roof. It's one roof. So it came in just a little bit. That's it, as far as you can tell that there was a fire here, except of course everything reeks and smells really bad. So we have air scrubbers going right now. Ray and I are here. We're not in masks and PPE right now because we've had air scrubbers going. There's very little here in the house right now, so I'm real comfortable with that. But the homeowner's father passed away from cancer that was caused by chemical exposure. So these homeowners are extremely sensitive to this because of all the chemicals that were in the fire. And did I tell you before, they have a 10-day-old baby. Their baby was born, I believe the wife was still in the hospital when this fire occurred.
Born on Friday, and the fire happened Monday.
Okay, so baby born Friday, their second child, they have a 3-year-old, fire happened on Monday. She didn't get to bring baby home. They've been at a neighbor's house. Now they're living in an RV out in their yard. So obviously, brand new baby, there's a lot of stress going on here. And so they don't want anything to do with the children salvage. And the homeowner's comment to me was, whether or not the insurance company pays for it or not, we don't want any of these items. So we're talking baby clothes, baby toys, baby books, all the baby bottles that she had here in the house, ready for baby when he comes home, all of that stuff. And what's tough is that with this kind of a fire, there was absolutely no reason why we couldn't restore those things to pre-loss condition. However, they don't want them. So our homeowners' concerns are important that we really address those, because that's who they're their items, right? So I want to make sure that the adjuster understands that as a professional, my assessment is not that these items are destroyed because of the fire. We're logging them destroyed and disposing of them, which, by the way, we have our proper disposal authorization forms all signed, because the homeowner's not comfortable with them. If the adjuster says, hey, I'm going to give you what it would have been to clean those items because they're not destroyed, that is a conversation or disagreement or argument or settlement to be done between the adjuster and that homeowner. I'm not getting in the middle of that. And I really want to warn you guys to not do that, because that is not a place you want to be, because you will lose somewhere. You're either going to lose on the adjuster side, or you're going to lose on the homeowner side, and you just don't want to be there. It's putting yourself between a rock and a hard place. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Looks like the structure may potentially actually go all the way back to studs. We don't know, but the homeowner's just not comfortable with what may be like underneath all this tongue and groove you see above my head and things like that. So Ray is basically the contents manager for the company, right? You guys you're going to kind of run all that.
Creating the division.
Yep, creating that division. And so Ray is here, been on the job site with his crew. We've been, training with Log Destroyed. We've been training. We're going to do packing up today, and hopefully some actual cleaning tomorrow. And just kind of, I'm going to totally put Ray on the spot here. But, just kind of from your viewpoint, Ray, this being like the first job that you've really full on come in, done pack out, and really, really dealt with the homeowner and like having the authorization form signed. What, anything you want to share with anybody out there? Because a lot of people watching may have never done a content job, or they're very new at it, that you would say, wow, I'm really glad that I now know this, or any kind of
tips. I'm really glad that Kevin and Anissa came to this job knowing what happened. I mean, with all those concerns coming up, it was just kind of helpful. And I wasn't scared about it, but I had reinforcement from you, and the way you handled yourself with a lot of those questions was awesome. It was great to watch and learn. Mm-hmm. Documentation wise, I'd gone through the class, read the books, wasn't prepared with the paperwork. Having you come into this one was fast. I mean, this was, I think we talked to you last Thursday. You flew in
Sunday.
You flew in Sunday. And so even when we got here Monday morning and started, it's kind of like, here's what we need for documentation. We went back to the office afterwards, printed off a bunch of the forms, come in yesterday, start documenting, and there are good forms. Well, actually on Monday, I called the office and said, upload all this stuff into job docs or get it to me. And so we were able to use some of those forms right into job docs already, be able to electronically have the homeowner sign.
Right.
And that was really cool. That was, and gave us the exposure with the homeowner. And I think that's probably the biggest thing I've learned is it gives you a reason to talk to the homeowner. We don't want to push them all the time, but you come up with a list of items, and then once or twice a day, since they have their home-based business here also, that was the other thing that was added on to this whole thing, is their business is 40 feet away.
Right.
But so we see the homeowner quite a bit, and we are able to go over some things and say, hey, this needs to be thrown away. Here's some larger items we assign that we're doing that, and they get it. And that's the biggest thing is they get it. I think there's possibly a little bigger fight for them coming up. Like you said, we don't want to get in the middle of it. We want to help them with our opinion and be there for them. We also want to make sure the scope is approved from the insurance company, that we're all on the same page. So, and we are on contents right now. I think we're 100% with that. The next item is, as we start structure cleaning and demo, that might be a little delay. They're going to believe they're going to come in. They've got a industrial hygienist coming in, doing some testing.
Yes. And we're going to test some of the clothing.
Yeah, we're going to test some clothing.
Yes.
Things like that, and do some of that to take those fears away from them.
So I want to ask you a question, Ray, because there's a lot of chatter, and I'm sure you've seen it on like Facebook and social media within our industry. Do you feel like it has been a asset to our homeowners that we have been very much in contact with the adjuster, and that we've been basically like that we're kind of like the hub So, and when it comes to dealing, we're just talking about this on a contents level. Like
Yeah.
in this, can you speak to the fact that how do you think that us having that contact with that adjuster, working things the way we are with this log destroyed, how do you think that's helped the homeowner? Like, there's a lot of people that say, hey, you know what, or not a lot, there are some that say, hey, you know what, the adjuster, that's between the homeowner and the adjuster. We're only dealing with the client. Talk a little bit about that, would you, for everybody, especially when it comes to the content side?
I guess the biggest thing I'm learning with contents, and I knew it, and probably scared me away for a couple of years from it. And we subbed bigger jobs like this. We'd sub out to content professionals.
Right.
If it was a small pack out where we kept it on site, we would do it ourselves, and where there wasn't so much cleaning of it, it's just getting it out so we could do our work in there.
Right.
We would handle those ourselves. It's important. I always say, yes, we work for the homeowner, 100%.
Absolutely.
But the homeowners themselves aren't in a position to foot the bill if that adjuster doesn't agree. And so we have to a point, be a liaison, but we can't put our foot down and tell them how to do their job. They have to appease their bosses. They have to, there's that whole number crunching thing on that side. But the homeowners have the heart, have to come and live here, the emotions after that. And so it's, and I think on this particular one, I think we're doing that. I think we have the trust of them, and we've told them this may be a hard sell because typically we wouldn't do this.
Right.
Do we have a problem doing it with kids' clothes, things like that? No. We all have kids. We wouldn't want our kids to deal with that. Out it goes. We log it and move on. As we get into some of the other stuff, there's I just don't want them to miss out and all of a sudden come back and say, I would have rather had the money, or I would have rather had a cleaned item than that. At the hindsight, we want the hindsight to be less.
Yes.
And that's, I guess, the biggest thing that we're going to learn in this. And so we have a good relationship with the adjuster. We had some issues yesterday. They asked us to stop part of what we were doing, preserve some items so they can come out and do some testing.
Yeah.
But they said go ahead with everything else. Keep the content stuff rolling. They knew that we were labored up pretty heavy, so it was, they were going to pay for it either way. So keep moving forward. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, excellent. And I want to say something here. So there's a couple things that Ray just said that was awesome. I love that he used the term, which I may steal, I'll totally give you credit for, but liaison. I love that term. It's kind of like, sometimes they call it a concierge. Well, that would sound a little odd, I think, in this circumstance, but that's exactly what we become in contents for our client with the insurance company, is a liaison. Listen, this couple, well, they're probably in their 30s, you think, early 30s? Yeah, I
believe she said she's right about 30.
Yep, but I think he's like 34. So they're a young couple. They have 2 small children. Again, a baby that is 10 days old. They have their hands full. If we just said, hey, here you go, this is what needs to be done, here's our bill, good luck, write us a check, they would freak out. They would lose their mind. Not that they're totally ecstatic with Service Restoration, which, by the way, is an amazing company. Dan and Ray do a great job, and Bobby, their crew has been wonderful here. So really top-notch company, by the way. But not only would they, they're very happy with Service Restoration and everything that's going on. They feel very confident in all of our abilities. But we would literally be not serving them and leaving them in the lurch because they literally have no idea what to do. They don't know how to handle all this stuff. By the time they become experts at it, hopefully they'll never have to do it again. It's kind of like raising teenagers, I like to say, They've never been through a fire. Like, they have no idea what to do. I explained ACV and RCV to her yesterday when it comes to content. She didn't understand that. Thankfully, they have RCV on their coverage. And for those of you, some of you may not, RCV is replacement cost value. ACV is actual cash value. Don't ever want ACV, by the way. Look at your personal policies and don't ever have that. So, we would literally be leaving them in the lurch, and that's not serving them. We're here doing contents so that we can help people in our community get through some really tough times. I mean, does the ER doctor slap a Band-Aid on your cut and go, oh, here's a needle and thread, go ahead and just sew it up like this? No, like they do it for you. Well, that's what we need to do here as contents. So we can't just leave them and go, here you go, here's your list of destroyed items, good luck, go for it. No, what we do is we're going to give that list to them. We're also going to forward that list to the adjuster. Now, we're going to let them figure things out. We're not going to price it. We're not going to get in the middle of that. I'm not a pricing specialist, nor do I train people to be, but we're going to make sure that the adjuster understands that these are the fears and concerns. We've already talked with him yesterday. We're keeping the items on site. We're not going to dump the roll off, even though we have our assigned disposal so that we're covered with the homeowner. We're leaving things here because in that dumpster, because the homeowner is going to feel more confident, because those things aren't going away right now until everything gets settled. All right, which I'm pretty confident will get settled. I think the adjuster's really great on this job. But again, it's not our battle. We're not going to take it on. But in the meantime, we're going to make sure that these homeowners know exactly how to handle things. And we're going to make sure that the adjuster understands by being that liaison, as Ray said, which again, really love that term. I'm going to steal it, for the homeowner so that things are going to go really smooth. So I know this is turning out to be a really long live video. I wasn't expecting to be so long, but I just really wanted to, come on here with you guys today with Ray and kind of speak a little bit about this, because I think it's really important to understand that, contents are different. They are not structure. And I think Ray definitely, as he just told you, it's definitely been unique. Each content job can be very different. And I really am happy that Ray and Dan have had us come out and be here in this circumstance, because this being such a unique one, they've really, learned a lot, gained a lot of experience and knowledge, and I was really happy that I was able to be here to help with all of it, to kind of, maybe sort of avoid some things that they didn't know. So today we're going to move on. We're definitely getting a lot of the packed items out. There has been a lot of log destroyed on this job, unfortunately, and we're going to get busy doing the cleaning and moving along. And I guess I should let y'all go and get your day started. I think, what is it, 8:45 here? Yeah, we're on Central Time, so it's really 6:45. And Ray's phone's already ringing, so we should probably get scooting. The crew's going to be here any minute, so we can get started. But I just really wanted to share with you this experience, and hopefully you guys have, got a little bit of extra, hey, didn't realize that from the video today. And, if you are watching this and you've had any experience with this kind of situation, please by all means share below the video in some comments, or if you have any further questions, don't forget to email me. I'm always looking for Ask Anissa questions. You can send it to anissa@firehouseeducation.com. And I just noticed that Linda's on. Hi, Linda. Linda is actually from Australia. And God, what time is it there? It must be like, today's Wednesday here. I think it's like Thursdays, I don't know, really early in the morning there, or maybe it's in the evening. I can't remember. Spent a week in Australia with Linda last year. We went out, did just this, what we're doing here with Service Restoration, and did some on-site training. So that was really cool, and look forward to hopefully going back there one day and hanging out with them. So hi, Linda. Good morning, or should probably say good afternoon or good evening to you. I think it's Thursday afternoon there. So anyway, just gonna let you guys go, get on with your day, and